everyone. Welcome to LexTalk World's talk show presented by Clickaby Creators. Today, we have Mr. Bankim Mehta with us. Mr. Mehta has a rich experience of over 19 years, and he has worked in managerial position with leading financial advisory. If I'm not wrong, I'm going to now put up his career in front of you in just few words. He has been part of the financial advisory, investment banking, and stockbroking entities in India. He has extensive experience in conducting legal due diligence, risk analysis, mitigation, and management strategy planning, obtaining regulatory approvals, documentations, negotiations, and so on and so forth. There are a lot of things that we can talk about him today. So without further ado, let's welcome him. Hello, Mr. Mehta. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, sir. Thank you very much for asking, and thank you very much for getting some time out of your very busy schedule for us today. As I said, we have a lot to discuss about you. But before that, I'm very intrigued whenever I talk to a lawyer, in order to understand their cases. So I'll just drill down to a complex case. Like if you can tell us about a complex issue you worked on, and if you can also describe the complexity around it and how you really approached it.
See, first, I'll put it in this way. When you come to a legal aspect, nothing is non-complex. Everything is complex. So rather than getting into a complexities, I'll talk about the challenges which we faced, and with respect to the recent this pandemic lockdown, wherein during this lockdown we have closed an investment transaction. So you understand, the investors are overseas, the companies in India, and we are in different part of India. So the challenges which we face while closing this transaction. So you understand, we are not allowed to move out of our, within the borders of our home. So lots of challenges which we have faced, and within that challenges, we have successfully completed investment transactions in the company. So the challenges, like, though it's a very small thing, but a very important thing, when you execute an agreement, so you have to courier it to the investors who are sitting overseas. So the time it takes, it comes back to India. And the most important part, your stamp duty. So stamp duty was a very challenging job. There are only very particular banks who are who are authorized to do the franking job. So we were sitting in the western suburbs, and the banks were in, the south of Mumbai. We can call it downtown. So yeah, so basically we just have to coordinate with the officers in the bank, and need to, whatever payments we need to make, and plus they take their own time. So the coordinations, and then we have to, under this lockdown, which was very challenging to send our person to the bank office, right? Because they were not allowed. So we need to give an authority letter. So all those challenges were really, it was like something impossible thing, next to impossible, but we have managed somehow and successfully completed our transactions within the time frame. So we are really happy and glad we could do it. So complexities are always there, but this were the challenges during this lockdown. So that's the reason I just mentioned about very recent situation, which makes more sense.
Oh, that's very right. I mean, and you've dodged the question very well. I mean, or rather, I should say, you have put it in a very beautiful context. That, of course, when it comes to legal, everything is complex. Nothing is simple. Taking a keyword from your answer, pandemic. You gave a very recent reference to us. In pandemic, we saw some courts begin moving towards more remote proceedings and availability. What do you think is sustainable today or in the future? And is it a possible way to increase access to justice, in your opinion?
My opinion is definitely sustainable. See, everything when it is new, there is always a challenges, right? We started with a big computer. Now we are on a small gadgets like iPad or laptops. Similarly with the mobiles. So this is also going to evolve. Definitely initial stage when the infrastructure is just, and it was new for everyone, right? Even the government has set up this infrastructure. So it's a new for them how to manage. and plus under this pandemic. So again, getting the services and it difficult for everyone. It's not only individual to a lawyers or a clients. And definitely future is artificial intelligence technology. We all know that everything is now online. So probably I personally feel that definitely it's a very wonderful thing. And it's very sustainable. It is cost effective, not only to the client, to the lawyers, but even to the government, like, because they have to, while if there is a court proceedings, we have to go into the premises of the court. So they have to manage lots of people like litigants, the lawyers, and the other stuff. So administrative cost, definitely there is a lot of savings. As far as lawyers are concerned, it's a blessing because we can sit in our office. We don't have to be stationed in the court. We can do our own work, as well as we can attend the proceedings, right? And we can, like sitting in Mumbai, I don't have to look forward for someone other assistance. I can appear in Hyderabad court. I can appear in Delhi. I can anywhere in any part of India. So this is really good. And also for the litigants, like they are already under burden, like because the other part is not paying them, like there's a dispute. Over and above that, say for example, the court is when suit is filed in Mumbai, so they are staying in somewhere in remote places. So all the way they have to, for every hearing, most of the hearing, they have to travel to Mumbai. So their airfare, the hotel. So it's any time definitely the most important. So I feel this is really a very beautiful thing. Initial glitches are there, and I think definitely the government and the courts, they are looking into it. And I feel maybe in future, at least initial, admission of the suit and all those proceedings happens online. So it would be really a blessings to everyone, including the court, the lawyers, as well as the litigants. So it's a very sustainable. I really support this online thing.
Oh, brilliant. Do you also think that it's when it comes to court becoming a virtual platform? I mean, from judiciary standpoint, is it a issue of infrastructure? I'm not just talking about the tier 1 cities now. I'm also talking about the district courts that are into tier 2 or tier 2 cities specifically. Do you think it's an issue of infrastructure as well for them to adapt such things, start moving towards the virtual proceedings?
I don't see any issue here. Like, see, I have heard people saying that in a small places, the lawyers find it challenging due to network. I fail to understand. Everyone have their smartphones, their Facebook and everything is working all well. Why not this, right? And slowly we are progressing. District court, small courts, as on today, because government is themselves trying with this online thing, right? So they have started with the higher courts. Slowly, gradually, they will come to the district court, lower courts more. So I don't see any issues with the infrastructure is concerned. These are all excuses, I feel.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Managed.
Fair enough. Well taken. I also had, I also wanted to add that point. I mean, also wanted you to add about the access to justice point, and I just want to extend it a bit. How would you rate the current legal system's drive towards encouraging access to justice? Is there a tangible movement in closing the justice gap? Because we see a lot of pending cases there in the court. Thanks to being, proceeding further with the virtual proceedings. Otherwise, the pile could have increased to 10x in the pandemic, but we managed to sort of surpass that. What do you think? How can we reduce that gap?
More courts definitely needs to be established. We have an issue. See, we need to understand the amount of judges we have and the amount of suits being filed each and every day, right? So the judges are themselves been overburdened with the cases. So I don't blame them. So it's everyone are to be blamed if you want to blame, including the lawyers. The lawyers are nonetheless if we are appearing some other court, we take dates, or there is some problem. So adjournments are also taken by the lawyers, and not only the judges keep pushing it. And definitely the most serious problem, we need to have more judges on bench so that these cases can be resolved. And we have there are many complex cases. So it's not easy. Like we keep on saying there are pending cases, thousands. You need to understand the population we are having and the kind of cases we are filing each and every day. So that, but still we are managing very well now as compared to, if I say, a decade earlier and now, that's a lot of changes. So this is also going to change in future. So maybe this will reduce. I won't say it will be zero, but yes, it's now people are more realizing, and they are also getting justice. So they don't mind coming to the court in case of dispute. They don't come just for the time pass, but they're seriously when they consider. Earlier people always used to say, court mein kyun jana hai yaar, 20 saal tak to aise hi pada rahega. But that's not the case now. If you know, in Mumbai, there was a news article also. Some judges were sitting late in the night, and there were at least some reliefs. See, the litigants are relieved. At least some relief they have been given, which is happening. So justice, access to justice is really becoming good, effective.
I mean, brilliant. I mean, fingers crossed for the future again.
Yes.
If we talk about, now I would say that you are a lawyer of this. For me, you are a lawyer of this generation. For all of us, and this generation is all about technology. We have seen, as you said, we have not seen, but I mean, we have seen movies like a computer full of a complete room requires to establish a computer, but now we have it in our pocket. So in the era of technology, rather, I should say legal technology, what are the most commonly used tools for you or by you?
Most commonly is the University of Google. just the jokes apart, but there are many, like, there are Supreme Court judgments online. Okay, so where we find Supreme Court judgments. Then there are definitely Manupatra, and there are other online systems where we get our case updates. We use the judgments, like, any precedents which we need to refer in our present scenario. So we take help of that. And definitely now, even since I practice more into a corporate law. So if we need to refer any provisions or any sections in corporate law, so even the ministry have their own website, and where easily you can have an ebook where along with the latest amendments, you can find the section. So if I'm reading any provisions, I don't have to really look for any circulars, whether are there any updates or not. So it comes, so even the government is doing a very great job.
And brilliant. So what you're already doing is sort of saving your time and putting the right effort the right way. Yes. It was a beautiful session so far, Mr. Mehta. I had a lot of questions. I understand there's a constraint of time on both of us. But still, I'll not leave you before I ask you this. As I said that, all these technology helps you save in time. There are other things, that also helps. And time is money in any profession. And in legal, it's most of all. I always say this. How do you ensure to make the best of your time as a lawyer for your profession and for your family as well?
So I believe time is money and health is wealth. So the money will, if there is only money, then there is no sense. Your wealth has also to be accumulated. So I try to make a point, except really there is some time constraint. So what I do is I give my enough time to my clients, my work, and equally I'll also, take care of my health, because if my health is not good, there is no time, right? And again, the money is not only the hard cash, like, if it doesn't give you happiness. So serving a society, we also do lots of pro bono cases. And sometimes it's really, if we can bring a smile to somebody like who cannot afford the legal, the lawyer's fees or something. So that's the most expensive, fees which we earn instead of, Otherwise, we get, paid from good clients. We definitely charge them, but where we see the clients cannot afford, we try to adjust as much as possible. And a very recent, we have helped somebody in a security matter where he was wrongly framed. in fact, for some documentations fraud and all. So that was really, and a huge penalty was levied. So we were successfully, we helped them and without charging a penny to them. And basically the blessings is also, the money which we earn. So that was good. So I feel like, time is money, health is wealth, and equally everything is important in our life. So work is good. And I also focus on my health. So, do routine exercises and all. So that's good.
Brilliant, brilliant. And we are also talking about value creation, I guess, here. They said the pro bono cases. And I guess many lawyers now, especially, lawyers of your stature, having such great experience with them in their hand, are majorly moving towards pro bono because, as you said, value creation is also a point. And in a movie, I'm not sure which movie was it, they say that it's not a business of justice, it's a business of law. So you also have to understand, and sometimes you have to sort of spend then rather to earn. So this was a beautiful session. That was the ending note from my end, Mr. Mehta. I mean, thank you very much for sharing such great insights with us today. We of course look forward to having a great chat with you again in the future on some other trending topics in the international legal industry. Thank you very much for the
Thank
for
you
the
so much. It's my pleasure to be on this platform. And
Pleasure
thank
is
you.
all us, sir. Pleasure is all us. Thank you very much. And for our viewers now, if you like this chat with Mr. Mehta, I want you to like this video, to share this video, and click on that red button to subscribe to Click of a Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do. And you have more coming in from industry leaders like Mr. Bankim Mehta. This was Sagar for Let's Talk World signing off. Thank you very much.